Welcome to a giant book haul. There are so many packages around me. I counted and there's over 30 packages, which is a little bit crazy. These books are a mix of books I bought and books that were sent to me. I am trying to buy less books because I own so many, so I only bought a few. And then the ones that were sent to me, you know, it feels like I'm not betraying my TBR by receiving them because I didn't buy them. Girl math. Anyway, let's start with the books I bought because I am so excited about these. This is the coolest thing I think I've ever seen in my life from a book. You can color the cover. When I saw that, I was like, no freaking way, that's so cool. I think I want to read it first and then color it just in case there's any like colors that are important in the book that would make it more meaningful to color on the outside. But this is the book Tattered by Daphne Perry. I actually have no idea what it's about. I saw that it was a coloring book cover and immediately pressed order on Amazon. But I have read one other book by Daphne Perry before called Indigo Ridge that I really like. So I was like, I trust that whatever this book is about, I'll like it. And it's actually a whole series, and she made all the books in the series coloring book covers, and I almost just impulse ordered the entire series. But then I was like, wait, read the first book first, make sure you like it before you buy all the other books. This book is the very unpopular accidental pregnancy trope, which I have also been an accidental pregnancy trope hater in my life. But then I've read some accidental pregnancy books in the last like year that I liked, so I'm very much more open to the trope now. But basically our main character, Thea, meets this charming stranger, Logan, and they have a one-night stand and then they don't see each other again for years. This time she's going to fight to keep him in her life, not just for herself, but for their daughter. Next, I think you guys are gonna be so excited to see I got this. This is a special edition set of the Six of Crows duology. Every time I mention that duology anywhere on the internet, everyone is like, you have to read it right now, it's so good. So I finally finished the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I can now start the Six of Crows duology. The box is really cool, and then if you open it up, this edition of Six of Crows is so freaking cool. The covers are so detailed and shimmery, and then I've never ever in my life seen sprayed edges more detailed than these. And if you take the dust jacket off, the hardcover is also really cool. There's tons of art inside the book, which is really cool. But the main reason I decided to buy the special edition of the duology is that it's annotated. I have never read anything before that's been annotated by the author. That just sounds like the coolest thing ever, to like get inside the author's mind. Ooh, this one has flowers. It's called You Said I Was Your Favorite by Monica Murphy. Why do I feel like I know this author? Okay, so this is a book in the Lancaster Prep series. The first book in the series is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, which I haven't read before, but I've definitely heard of. I think it's pretty popular. And it says you can read this series as standalone books. Okay, I just read the summary and I feel like I'm gonna love this book. Basically, our main characters go to Lancaster Prep and Daisy is the scholarship kid. She's the groundskeeper's daughter, and then our main male character, he gets in trouble and his punishment is having to work in the headmaster's office alongside Daisy, so they're like stuck together. It sounds like boy falls first because it says that he becomes obsessed with her and he thinks that she feels the same way, but the problem is she's not a part of his crowd. No one approves of them together, not his friends, not his parents, and not her father. I bet they have such different backgrounds, so I'm very curious like what their dynamic is gonna be. This book is called 5 Broken Blades, and this sentence in the summary already hooks me. It says, the 5 most dangerous liars in the land have been mysteriously summoned to work together for a single objective, to kill the God King. Just like that they're 5 dangerous liars, I think is really cool. How do people know they're liars? Why are they like famous for being liars? Also, how are they gonna work together? How could they trust each other? I have so many questions just based on that sentence alone. That really intrigues me. Okay, let's do a pink package. This is How to End a Love Story. Wait, no way. Okay, this author is the current writer adapting Emily Henry's book, People We Meet on Vacation, into a screenplay. And she's going to direct Beach Read, Emily Henry's book-to-movie adaptation. Wait, that's so cool. And it sounds like she really channeled her experience as an author and a screenwriter into her book, because the main character in her book is a popular best-selling author who recently had her young adult book turned into a TV show. And then our male love interest is also a screenwriter. So we've got like workplace romance. I feel like she would know so much, obviously, about the behind the scenes of book to TV show adaptations, of being in the writer's room on films and TV shows. And then this next package is from Care Of. Care Of has kindly sponsored today's video. They offer vitamins that are completely tailored to you, which was the thing that really drew me to them, because I feel like sometimes it can be so confusing to know where to start with vitamins, to even know where to begin what to take. So my favorite thing about them is that it's so easy to get started. You just go on their website and you can take a quiz. They recommend what vitamins you should take. take. And then they make it even easier for you. Your vitamin packs come in this box and you can just pull one out every single morning and they have all your daily vitamins in one little pack. I also love that these packets make it so easy to take your vitamins on the go. You could toss one of these into your purse if you're in a rush. You could travel with these so easily. The ability to just like toss a few of these into my makeup bag and take on a trip with me is so nice. The vitamins in my pack help with stress and focus, bones, and my immune health, as well as my metabolism, and also help to cover nutrient gaps. And then they also sent me some capsules to help with my sleep health. I am a notoriously bad sleeper, which drives me crazy because sleep is so important. So I'm so glad that based on the quiz, they gathered that I need some help being a good sleeper. And Care of sends you a refill every 30 days, which is great. So hassle-free, convenient, easy to be consistently taking my daily vitamin. And I've got a discount code for you guys. You can use my code JustAli50. Click the link in my description to get started taking the quiz and get 50% off subscription items in your first order. 50% off is crazy. That's such a good deal. So thank you so much to Care of for sponsoring this video and giving you guys such a great discount code. A Karen and McManus book. I love Karen and McManus. This is You'll Be the Death of Me. I haven't read a single mystery this year, which is crazy, and I really want to start getting back into mysteries. I already know I love Karen and McManus books. I feel like I'd for sure love this book. And I love that she has multiple main characters and we get their multiple POVs. So this book follows Ivy, Mateo, and Cal. I think it's so fun to like bounce around between the different characters, and they offer like different insights and like knowledge and secrets on whatever the mystery is in her books. And it says our three main characters decide to ditch class and they go into the city, and the first thing they do is walk straight into the scene of a murder. And the victim is none other than a fellow high school student. And they all have a connection to the dead kid, and they're all hiding something they can't afford to let anyone find out. So I bet they're gonna be suspects. I bet they're gonna have to work together to like clear their name or solve the mystery. Just my guesses. Well, that sounds so fun and like the most typical Karen and McManus book, which I love. Next up, we've got The Colliding Worlds of Mina Lee. It says that Mina Lee wakes up on a Saturday and is nearly fried by a superhero who turned out to be a supervillain. She comes face to face with the handsome boy of her dreams, and she discovers a conspiracy involving an evil corporation. It's all happening inside her fictional webcomic. Mina is trapped in the story she created. That's so cool. I've never read anything like that before. Then we've got Dungeons and Drama. That's so cute. Okay, this is one of my favorite tropes, fake dating. So first of all, our main character, Riley, she's currently working at her dad's game shop. And then there's her coworker, Nathan, who sounds like a gamer boy, and they strike up a deal. He's gonna help her, I think with some theater show, something like that. And in exchange, she's going to fake date him so he can make his gamer girl crush jealous. And in order to sell the fake dating, she has to join his role-playing game group. I'm guessing it's like a D&D kind of thing. I feel like most of the time, romance main characters, especially the guys, are more like the like, you know, stereotypical like popular guy or like really attractive or charming. So I love that he's more of like the nerdy gamer guy. I feel like that's gonna be really fun. I have a few books by this author, and all of her covers are so stunning. This is the sequel to Song of Silver Flame Like Night, which I also own. And it says that this fantasy series is inspired by the mythology and folklore of ancient China, which is really cool. Colonizers invaded our main character's kingdom, killed her mother, and then outlawed her people's magic. Right before her mom died, her mom burned a strange mark into her arm. So it sounds like she lived in a very corrupt world. She's trying to figure out what this mark means and probably trying to get her people's lost magic back. Oh, we've got 2 books in here. No way. Okay, I actually already own both of these books, but I'll tell you about them because they're great. So No Escape by Maren Stoffels, or Stoffels, I don't know how to say her last name. I've actually read this book. Oh no, wait, I haven't read this book. Okay, so I've previously read a book called Escape Room by this same author, and this one is called No Escape. I really like the books I've read by this author. I've read a few by her. They're super short, like under 200-page mysteries, and they're no 5-star read. Like I think I've given them all 3 or 3.5 stars, but they're so fun and perfect if you just want something really short. I feel like it's a good like palate cleanser in between books. If you want something you can just read in a few hours. And they all have like really unique, fun concepts. I believe this one takes place in an escape room. Tess and Lexi, who are best friends, are forced to compete against each other in the escape room. And then I got the reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I didn't know they were sending it to me. I actually just got this book in my book of the month box for this month. So I'll have to donate this book or maybe do like a little giveaway or something because I know this is a popular book, but I love Holly Jackson. Holly Jackson wrote the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I'll literally read any book by her because I love that series and I've loved every book since then that she's written. But this one sounds really, really cool because our main character, Belle, her mom disappeared 16 years ago. The case is being dragged up again on this true crime documentary, so Belle is gonna participate along with her family in this documentary. And then her mom, Rachel Price, reappears, which is crazy. Like, where was she for 16 years? Where did she go? With the camera still rolling, Belle must uncover the truth about her mother and find out why Rachel Price really came back from the dead. Like, I want to read this in the next month. Next up, we have Evergreen. I just read the summary for this book, and it's a queer romance between Quill and Liam, and Quill isn't allowed to leave the house, which is already intriguing. It says the family business is this generation's old garden, and everyone in his family has magic, but he doesn't. And like I said, he's not allowed to leave the house. He doesn't know what the outside world is like until his neighbor discovers him, and Liam shows him the outside world. That's a really cool concept. I never read anything where someone was like stuck at home, couldn't leave. I feel like the romance is gonna be really good. The fantasy plot will be good, but also just him experiencing the world for the first time sounds really unique. This is a very colorful package. This is Hypnotized by Love by Sarah Wilson. Okay, right off the back, it says that this is a hate to love romance, which is my favorite. Like anything enemies to lovers, I love. Mason is Savannah's former unrequited love / best friend, and Savannah is a hypnotist. Am I saying that right? Hypnotist? She hypnotizes people. Hypnotizes people, oh my gosh. And I guess she's hypnotizing Mason, and the session goes wrong, and he's like in this state where nothing scares him. He says everything on his mind. He's down to take big risks, and he's trying to win her heart. The next package is from Valentine PR. I always get excited when they send me mail because I think they do all romance books, and I found some good books through them. Okay, so a lot of these are Christmas books. To be honest, the last time I opened my book mail was in November when I did my last book mail video. So some of these packages have been sitting in my closet for a very long time to save for this video. So I'm gonna have to save some of these for this December to read. This first book is The Christmas Blanket by Candy Steiner. I have another Candy Steiner book called Blind Side that I really want to read. It's high in my TBR. Look how tiny and cute this book is. It's like the size of my hand. I honestly love that for a Christmas book because, I don't know, I think like Christmas romances can be kind of hit or miss for me. Like sometimes they're really fun and sometimes they're just like okay and very cheesy. So I think like a short Christmas read is gonna be what I'm feeling this December. Our main character is going home to visit her family, but there's a blizzard and she gets stuck snowed in to a cabin with River Jensen, her ex-husband. So we've got another second chance romance. Second chance is pretty common, but I've never read a second chance romance with somebody and their ex-husband specifically. Like I think that's gonna be really interesting and hopefully has a lot of depth of them like breaking down why their marriage fell apart before and how it's gonna work now. Then another little Christmas romance is Run Run Rudolph. It says that our main character does an interview that goes viral, and to get away from the press, she's hiding out in a small town where she meets Trent Rudolph. Then we've got The Detour, another tiny book. This one is about 60 pages. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever read such little books in my life. I mean, I guess I've read novellas before, but these are quite short. And this is another Christmas romance. The main character is Harley Humbug. I love when characters have like really fun names that are like topical for the book. Like it's a little cheesy, but I think it's so fun. I know some people don't like that. And the main character, Harley Humbug, is a best-selling author. That's really fun. Like I love reading any book about characters who love books or work in the book industry. Then we've got Sweet Victory, and our main character loves baking. And then our male main character, Vince, it sounds like he's a professional fighter. I love that both these characters have very unique careers. Okay, I just read the summary for the next book, and I'm intrigued by this one. It's called Love Me by Jessica Saunders, and basically says Rachel Miller, she's a mom of 2, she's married, her marriage is very much on autopilot, and then photos and love letters of her and her high school boyfriend, who is now the famous actor Jack Bellow, surface online and thrust her into the spotlight, which calls into question her marriage. So I want to know, like, is she gonna fix her marriage or is she gonna end up with the actor? I feel like it would be a really good book both ways. Then we've got Deep is the Fen. This is also a really cool cover. It says that Mary is happy with her simple, honest life with absolutely no magic. Magic only ever leads to trouble. But then her best friend Teddy joins a secret society. I love when books have secret societies. They're always so like unique and interesting. Secret society specializes in supernatural traditions, and Mary is determined to stop him, even if it means teaming up with the person she hates most. Do we have enemies to lovers? I hope so. Her academic arch nemesis. Sounds like your classic enemies to lovers romantasy, but I feel like the secret society adds like a new like fun twist. Oh, okay, I've read a book by this author, David Levithan, before called Boy Meets Boy. It was so cute. And it sounds like this one is kind of similar in being in like a reimagined, like alternate reality version of like our world. It says this is a reimagined 2024 presidential election for our times. A gay Jewish man has just been elected president of the United States until the governor of Kansas decides that some election results in his state are invalid. Tons of people head to Kansas to protest, and among them are Jimmy and Duncan, teens who are not only fighting for the future of their country, but for the future of their relationship too. I always like that this author's books feel very like topical, like almost a fictionalized version of like things that are happening in our world. And I think most, if not all of his books are young adults, so like also being able to kind of like glimpse these very topical themes through the eyes of a teen is so great to read about. Our next book is The Other Side of Disappearing. Intriguing title. Ooh, okay, this is an interesting plot. So our main character is Jess, and she spent the last decade raising her half-sister after her mom ran away with her boyfriend, and that boyfriend is the same accomplished con man who's the subject of a wildly popular podcast. And then it sounds like in the future, Jess's half-sister she's been taking care of, Tegan, finally decides to leave home and search for their mother, and she's accompanied by the podcast host and her handsome producer, Adam Hawkins. That's cool because it sounds like it's gonna be a romance and also part mystery. Okay, we've got a big box. Oh, so many books in here. Let's start with this adorable looking rom-com, 10 Things I Hate About Prom. It says Ivelisse and Joaquin are platonic soulmates. At least that's what Ive thinks until Joaquin decides to ask Tessa, the mean girl, to prom. And what's worse, he wants her help planning an elaborate promposal, but she'll take any chance she can to have quality time with him. So it sounds like we've got childhood friends to lovers, maybe kind of like a love triangle going on with him. And just like promposals are so fun. I hope this book is like just full of lots of like prom moments and references and promposals. Our next book is Seasick, and this is a mystery thriller that I'm assuming takes place on a boat, which I think is such a fun idea. Like, I don't know why I haven't read that before. And it sounds like our main characters are part of this exclusive society of recent graduates, and they're going on a boat trip, but then one of their classmates is brutally murdered, leaving them stuck at sea with a killer. That's like my worst nightmare. That's so scary. Like, you have nowhere to go, and depending how far they are from land, like they could not even be possible to like get away or land. Then we've got a romantasy called The Girl with No Reflection. And this one has a unique concept. Basically, our main character is chosen to wed the crown prince, but he's really cold and indifferent and she does not like him. And she starts to see reflections and things like that in the corners of her mirror. And then the night before her wedding, she gets pulled into the mirror world where she meets the mirror prince. Unlike his real world counterpart, the mirror prince is kind and compassionate, and before long, she falls in love. But there's also darkness in the new world too. The two worlds have a long and blood-soaked history. It's just a unique setup of like this mirror world. I'm intrigued how like the magic system and magic of the world works. Then we have The Color of a Lie, and I think this book sounds so interesting. It follows Calvin, who is able to pass for white, and his family moves to an all-white suburban town. But it says hiding his true self is exhausting, which leads Calvin across town where he can make black friends who know all of him. And he also meets his crush, Lily. But then it says that Calvin starts unraveling dark secrets about the white town. I'm so curious, what are these dark secrets? And then also just kind of exploring his identity. I feel like that'd be so exhausting and so bizarre to hide such a huge part of your identity. And then lastly in this package is Diary of a Dying Girl, which is such a captivating title, and this book is actually a memoir by Mallory Smith. It said that she was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis and she wrote thousands of journal entries. So I think these are all of her journal entries throughout her life, and she does end up dying of cystic fibrosis, which is so sad. But I feel like this is gonna be very good because I read the book When Breath Becomes Air, which is also a memoir by a guy who was a doctor and he ended up dying of cancer. And I think that was just so fascinating to read about somebody who is going through all those complicated feelings of mortality. And it's like depressing and sad, but also inspiring in a way of like them trying to live their life to the fullest while they still can. So I don't know like what the tone of this book will be, but if it's anywhere near as good as When Breath Becomes Air, then I think I'll love it. This book, I already peeked in this package, is Minks by Sophie Lark. Sophie Lark, if you've heard of her, she wrote the Brutal Prince series, and I really want to read that series. I've heard such good things about Sophie Lark as an author. Have not read one of her books yet, so I'm happy to own my first Sophie Lark book. Our main character is a self-made man. He's a billionaire. It's so fun, I think, just reading about billionaires or like very, very wealthy people. It's just such a different life than I will ever know. And then our female main character is named Blake, and she is an escort. And it says he knows that something's up, that she's hiding something, and he intends to find out what. But Blake has gone to great extremes to guard her secrets. She knows who he is and how dangerous he can be, but when he offers her a game that he created just for her, she can't resist playing. What is this game? That really intrigues me. I didn't really expect that to be in the plot. We've got a giant pink box. I feel like anything in pink packaging is always great. Oh, and there's so many goodies in here. Got stickers, annotation supplies, and the key to my heart, a candle. Oh my gosh, the wrapping for this book, I almost don't want to unwrap it. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, okay. I know I've said this about so many books so far, but this cover is stunning. I think this is 100% winning best cover for this video. It's so like, can you tell how shimmery it is? And it like feels really cool. That's so cool. It says this is a romantasy that has relentless danger, forbidden passion, and my favorite, enemies to lovers. It says that she flees her father's cruelty, and her father is the wicked king. She's out on the streets now, and then she's captured by the rebels, and they don't realize that she is the missing daughter of the despised king. So now she's faced with an impossible choice: join the rebels or face their blades. Oh, and I think her love interest is gonna be Daiquiri, who is the son of the ruthless rebellion commander. Okay, I love that. So he's the son of the rebellion leader, and she's the daughter of the king who they're rebelling against. That's like the perfect, like actual enemies to lovers setup. I'm excited for this one. All right, and then last one. This one is One Last Shot. It looks like a romance. Oh, and the author wrote me a handwritten card that is so nice. She said, I'm so excited to send you One Last Shot. I love your booktube videos. Your recs are so good. I hope you love One Last Shot and that it transports you to Italy for a few hours. That is so cute. And this book is between Emerson and Theo. They met as teenagers and they were inseparable until they finally expressed their feelings to one another and were torn apart. And it says now, I think we're in the future. Emerson she's a popular supermodel, and Theo is a fashion photographer. And it says she gets a calendar reminder for the marriage pact she and Theo made as teenagers. This may be her only chance to rekindle the only romance that ever really made sense. So another second chance romance. I feel like we've unboxed so many second chance romances in this video. I'm curious if they're just gonna rekindle or they're actually gonna go through with this like marriage pact. And they find their way back to each other in Italy. Like, that's so fun. I don't know what season it takes place in, but it's just giving me summer vibes. Like, this will be a great summer romance read. Okay, that's all the packages I'm gonna open. Like I said, there's quite a few more that I didn't open this video. I kind of want to do like a series on my TikTok of like book mail Mondays, like opening a few packages once a week. I feel like that'd just be fun to do. So if you want to see more packages, I'm gonna open more on my TikTok. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this book haul video. Let me know if there's any of these books where you're like, Ali, you need to read this ASAP. It's kind of overwhelming to know like where to start, which books to prioritize, which ones are gonna be the best to read. And with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.